Hey guys, this is Dominic here. I just was going to show off my current project that I'm working on, and by far it's nowhere even close to being complete, but it has been interesting. I started work on this a while ago. It was called Degeneration from Arma 2, and I kind of wanted to redo it in a different kind of light. So yeah, it's a yet another zombie mod, but I'm hoping that it's a bit different approach than maybe a lot of the mods you see out there. And I haven't done a lot of research into what mods are out there, or I know some of them get pretty fancy with having their own servers and blah blah blah. But this one, what I hope separates this with the other ones is the fact that this one focuses. What I wanted to do is focus more on the world, or the map, and how it responds to some kind of infection going across the world. And so my goal really is, and I haven't done much for actual player gameplay yet. My goal right now is to just have a world that can respond to fight an infection itself. Sometimes maybe it's successful, sometimes not. And the way it kind of gets, each game through should be kind of unique. So you see right now is we have debug mode on, and that just allows me to see everything. It picks up random towns, or not random towns, it picks up all the towns defined on the map, and it labels them as large, medium, or small towns depending on the size of the town. You can see here that we have a bunch of medium towns here. Kavala, large town. Lots of medium towns in our large town over with Thera. And Pyrgos, which is actually the capital of this map, I believe. And so I'm just going to go ahead and plop down a horde zombie here. I can explain how they work. So, let me explain. Let's put this guy, we'll just put him right down over, I don't know, here. So, since I'm going to do horde mode, so I'm just going to plop down a horde zombie, kind of see how this works. Horde zombie, plop him down. He targets the nearest town, essentially. You can see that civilians start to spawn in the town that he's targeting. Civilians are yellow. Yellow means that they're not armed. Okay. So I'll explain more of that later as well and how that works. So you can see one thing that I try to do is do a lot of optimization as much as I can. Right now this horde zombie is just a single zombie, but he's technically cached away 50 zombies following him around, quote unquote. So as he gets close enough, he'll spawn a little horde to go and help him attack this town. So right now all these towns are green because everything's fine. They're not infected. Everything's status quo. We're not getting any status, news reports on the top right of the screen. Everything seems pretty calm. And so what will happen is this thing called the warning level. The world slowly becomes more and more aware of what's going on. And that's one thing that I really miss on a lot of zombie mods for Arma. And he just spawned in his little horde. So we'll zoom in on that and just watch that while I'm talking. So a lot of mods don't really. The world doesn't respond. The world's usually already dead, and that's that. And as this world becomes more aware of what's going on, they'll try to react to it in different ways, various ways, and that's also random in itself. So you have entities like the government and the civilians who are also kind of set up right now. The framework is all in there. So let's say we have a game where a couple towns get taken over and the military keeps dealing with it, adequately enough. They keep sending groups over there to halt, and they keep preventing the infection from spreading far enough. And there's only one or two towns that are have fallen really, and the people are okay with that. The people go, okay, well they're doing as much as they can. There are no riots or no things messing up. Say that same scenario, two towns fall, military is trying as hard as they can, but the populace is kind of pissed off. And so what happens is that, they will disrupt the military. They will try to do it themselves. And they will try to send people to these towns to clear them out and take them back over. And so civilians also have a voice too, and you can get this kind of unique interaction between these three different groups: zombies, military, and people, or government and people. And maybe they're not happy with how it's being handled. And so you can see the zombies are just now reaching the town, and you can kind of see them attacking. Once they lose a single person in the town goes code yellow to state that it's under attack. And you can obviously this is debug mode, so you can see where all the zombies are on the map with these little markers. So yeah, and then maybe another scenario too where you know, just this infection is just destroying everything very well. So it's spreading, it's, you know, half the map is gone. The warning level's out of the roof. It's just a lot of people are dying. You may even get towns, entire towns, that decide that they're done and they will create their own little group. So instead of being a green town, you know, they'll flip over to maybe, you know, being an orange town per se, which means that they're now, um, you know, they're now part of their own little kind of group, and they will engage and fire upon anyone in the military or anyone part of the government. So this really limits what players can do if they're playing on Blue 4. And that's another interesting dynamic that, you know, kind of introduced here, is that you can, in the end game, is to have it so you can be Blue 4, you know, Op 4, or, you know, independent, or, you know, civilian, whatever. I'm not sure exactly how it'll play out, but you can, you know, different groups you can play as. And that kind of will lay out how you play. If you're playing as Blue 4, you're part of the military. You're trying to help contain everything. And you know, you're getting orders to go around and do stuff if you're more of an active player. If you're a civilian, you don't really get orders what to do, but you maybe don't get as much gear right off the bat or things like that as Blue 4 does. Plus side to that is, if you're, you know, a civilian, you can go into towns that are hostile to Blue 4 just fine. They won't engage you, just a civilian. So you can kind of see how that works out too. And so the world is supposed to feel dynamic and alive. And so with that said, you can kind of get the concept of what I'm shooting for here. Is it's just a mod that you can kind of hop in, and I'm thinking of saving stats and all that junk like that, and, you know, having the ability to do certain things. Not locking, you know, weapons or anything to levels, but just having you be able to do special abilities, maybe the higher level you get up, or being able to have camps and things like that. Maybe we can go ahead and let's take a look at the zombies. They're kind of struggling with hills right now. So let's see here. Do we have a civilian in the rocks, maybe? Yes, we do. So we're gonna go ahead and just fix this. So you can see this town's getting an attack, and, you know, I'm just going to help this town out a little bit here. Zombies still struggle with hills for some reason. I need to work on that AI. So we'll just spawn. Actually, it looks like they're actually getting it. We'll leave these 4 zombies left of that horde. Okay, just for the sake of time, we will speed this up, because it looks like they are all nicely suiciding on that hill. Boop. Boop. Just to give him a little nudge. Looks like one of them survived. Alright, here's the tough guy right here. And, yeah, so the world's just going to feel really alive. And one thing that is also maybe a little bit different is that the infection is going to be spread differently each time, which also changes how kind of you play the world. So you have, you know, you can have the infection be airborne, you can have it be waterborne, you can be any kind of borne, bacterial, whatever. Whatever we put in there and randomly decided each playthrough is going to decide how the infection spreads. So if you have an airborne infection, say this town, since this town is close enough to this town, infection would just naturally kind of get over there by air without the zombies needing to be there over time. Or, obviously, it's a bit unrealistic, but you get the point there. Or, you know, someone just gets the infection, but they don't get bit, and they come over here, and they turn while they're in the town, thus starting the infection there. If it's waterborne, you can have, you know, infections start all the way across the map. If it's just a contaminated water supply, shared supply, or anything like that. It could be several things. So what happens when a 10 goes code red is when the infection really takes off. So I'll delete these guys. So it's, these little orange circles here that you see are called migrator zombies. They move around with the hordes like the one I spawned in. They're horde zombies, and they kind of just spread the infection around. And you see this town starting to populate with people. They're going to go ahead and seek out and kill. And so the game is supposed to be really varied, and hopefully it should suit a wide range of players. if you want to be civilian and hide and scavenge for supplies and things like that, like I have that basic system in there, you can run around and random loot will spawn in the buildings you pass around and things like that. And or if you want to play as a military, a Blue Force soldier, and run around and do what the AI tells you, to try to quarantine things with weapons. You can see right here is actually some random stuff spawned right here. I could like take that if I wanted. But then yeah, you could do that. And if you want to be kind of up for it and maybe be coming in from, I'm not sure to fully put that in, but someone coming from outside the country or whatever. A lot of different options you can do, within the realm of that. And it's just interesting, something I want to have a lot of, just for a wide range of gameplay. And because what I have to do here, if I want to make it interesting for players, is that I have to make it so you can do things that, if you're over here in the side of the world, you can do things to prepare and have things you have to do. Also, you get little news reports on the top right, like you're seeing right now, things what's going on. So the warning level isn't that high yet. Only one town has fallen. So you can see, well, people think it's just shootings or, maybe it's a murder spree. It's kind of randomized in how it works. So they're going to dispatch a small squad. You can see that's this Humvee right here. And so they decided to dispatch one Humvee to go see what's going on. And they're just kind of driving along. It's not armed. There's probably 4 armed soldiers in it. But, they're just kind of checking it out. And all the while, the hordes are just running right past them. And then the hordes hear them. So you can see on the map, you can see them, they're going for them. And did they pick this up? They might have just saw them. Let's see here, where'd they go? Yep, see they see what's going on. And they're kind of heading over there in that general direction. So you can kind of see the world's already trying to respond to this threat. They're obviously hugely outnumbered. And the AI are not too good with melee units. Okay, and you can see that they just got swarmed. So now the warning level has raised up quite a bit. And you see what happened right here, all these guys despawn because there wasn't enough civilians, there wasn't a target nearby, so they cached these guys right here. These guys are just running through there. So you can kind of see another part of the horde just kept on going, and they're starting to infect this town. So you get the idea how it goes. So the idea is that it'll slowly spread throughout everywhere, and with random events occurring to, infect other places and then people responding to that. So you can get pretty chaotic pretty quick after a while. And it's depending on the players, how they want to influence that world. Players can just sit by and, maybe they just want to sit there and defend a single town. Or maybe they want to actually actively try to recapture a town. And I think the last thing I'll show, is this the right name? Yep. Is maybe how you, let's see here. It's about how you go about recapturing a town. Let me just grab a weapon here really quick. Maybe one of these. Alright. So you have a Code Red town. And say if you go in a Code Red town, there's going to be a couple zombies wandering around. Oh. Oh, did I not hit that? Can't remember the name of this script that I made. There it goes. So in the middle of each town, this is more of a placeholder right now, but in the middle of each town, you can, if you clear it, you can click this, and I cheated because I just kind of teleported in. But you can click on this, warning, begin clearing town. What it does is it plays this really loud noise that attracts a bunch of zombies to your position. If you can kill all the zombies, depending on the size of the town, it'll spawn extra ones. Gives you a little bit of time, and they'll come and pretty much swarming at you. So if you can clear it, the town will go back to being green, and you're good to go. So you can kind of hear them right now. And that is actually a bit more than I can deal with. I'm really bad at aiming in this game, so we're going to see what I can do here. Oh, this guy is zigzagging. So since this is a medium town, it's going to spawn a random medium amount of zombies. And, alright. So signs of an infection are beginning. An armed vehicle has been dispatched to maintain order. So you can kind of tell that they're starting to catch on about what's going on. And we're going to see what happens if I just stick inside that building. They will try to path to you if they can, but since the AI pathing is really bad for buildings, they will just start to attack the building. So we can see that, well, we lost 2 towns. The military is being smart about it. They're saying, well, we're going to send a vehicle with a bit bigger punch here. We're still not sending out, an armed brigade. And obviously, for sake of gameplay, it's not going to be a gigantic army that they send out every time. Oh, zombies are able to get to me. I guess that's the end. So you can see the zombies will eventually be able to get to you in that kind of situation. Now that I died, that town's going to stay code red, and that's that. So I guess the last thing I want to show is just another aspect of the game that I don't think a lot of players get to do very well. Now this part I'm about to show you isn't, or do very well, or often I should say. This part isn't finished, obviously, that I'm about to show you, but I think it's good enough to show you some interesting dynamics about it. So, one thing that I feel like players don't get to do very well in a zombie game is, play as a zombie when you die. When you die, be able to play as them for a while. And I'm playing with the idea of if you die, having to actually kill another human being before you get to come back. Obviously, that might be optional, but you get a whole bunch of points as a zombie. Who knows? Or maybe even get the option stripped just to play as a zombie. Maybe as one of the horde masters. Who knows? So what I'm gonna do is just spawn in a couple guys here. And just not too many, a good number to defend themselves. We're going to go ahead and spawn in a horde zombie here, and a seeking zombie. And I'm going to go ahead and take control of the seeking zombie. So you can see that I'm now controlling the zombie. I run just as fast as them. But you can kind of tell that they run a bit faster than normal Arma 3. And they also do not have fatigue. Like I said, obviously this isn't finished quite yet, but you can kind of see you get this different aspect of a zombie mod where you get to play as a zombie, and maybe some players that's what they really want to do. So I'm going to try my best here. And the players obviously get more mobility than the AI do. I don't want to go that way. It seems to be kills. Oh, there we go. He's distracted. Get him. Yep, got him. Okay. Oh, there's an AI right there. Oop, oop, oop. Let's hide. Let's hide. Oh. Oh, he got me. So you can kind of see that may, for some people, that may be what they want to do. And just for the hell of it, let's go over here. Just so you get a good view of everything we have to offer. We'll go ahead and get, we'll just be really unfair. We'll just get a hunter. And we'll get just a couple guys. And we'll get a horde zombie here and a seeking zombie here. And I'll take control of this guy. And this also, since this is just a straight up mod, you can do any kind of scenario you would like with this. You don't have to do the whole entire infection system. You can just do certain scenarios if you'd like. It's totally up to you. Okay, so this hunter is not paying attention at all. Oh, that guy is though. Alright, so then maybe I want to play as a dog. Yeah, that guy's gonna try to run away, so maybe I want to play as a zombie dog. Oh, and die immediately. Well, you kind of see the idea there. Maybe if I spawn him just a little bit closer. Yep, you can see that I'm attacking as a dog right here while I wag my tail. You can just sprint really quick as a dog. Oh, he's trying to get away. I need to run. Oh, he got me. Dang. So you can see the hunters, definitely. Vehicles are pretty hard for zombies to bring down. Hopefully they disabled it enough for force these guys to get out. And there it goes. So you can see some really interesting interactions can come up in these scenarios. You can see even a couple of the zombies already made it into the town. So all it takes is like one zombie to get away, and that's it. And you already have one zombie spawning here to infect this side, while you have also the infection. Oh wait, now I was thinking the other game. You get the point. So alright, thank you guys. Quick look. Bye.